welcome back to a Friday edition of the John Wayne Search Protector podcast. 6040 production. I'm Eric Halsey.
I'm Alex Midway, and we are switching things up on you guys this week. Not only are we given 2 episodes, but they're on completely random days.
Yeah, it's kind of like muscle confusion, just for your ears.
And the stuff that we say is for confusion for your brain.
Yeah, you know, because it may be very different from what the legacy news companies are telling you, so...
The fake news media.
Hoax. Honestly, I hope whatever Democrat eventually leads us back into the promised land, I hope they keep the hoax thing going.
We're never getting a Democrat again. I've lost faith in the people.
Oh, I'm coming back. We're going to need one.
No, I'm going to need a brewski. So, you know what? Let's just jump right on in. No one cares about us. And who said it? They blamed it on Iran. I don't think so. I think I blame on Minnesota because they're grossly incompetent. I would blame it on Minnesota and the governor, the corrupt governor of Minnesota. There should be a shoe-in.
Yeah, this one's definitely Orange Daddy.
It is Orange Daddy. Apparently, the Minnesota water supply got hacked, and they came out and said, hey, man, most likely this is going to be some Iranians and everything else. He's like, nah. He's like, they can't multitask. We're bombing them to all living hell right now. Like, they clearly can't be attacking America at the same time.
Yeah, no, the fact that we're in a war and we've been blaming these people for the wars we've been in for about 30 years now, it's probably Tim Waltz's is probably the one behind it.
Connecting all the dots, we can clearly see that it is the governor elected to lead the state that is currently screwing the water supply.
Yep. Tim Waltz is the reason we're in Iran, is what I'm gathering from this.
Yeah. Thanks Obama has now been replaced by thanks Tim.
Yeah, pretty much.
So Tesla ticker was at 298 last time. It went up to 311. Honestly, that's kind of predictable. People freak out for some reason when the first number changes. So like all the other times that Tesla was dropping, like, oh, well, you know, it is kind of stupid. They just released, what's it called? The Q2 earnings, and they sold more cars but made less money. I mean, like, oh, God. And then it actually went under 300, so that's when people kind of used that as a floor, so some people bought some up.
Yeah, unlock, give Elon back his password to Twitter for about 24 hours, then lock him back out again, and let's watch this bad boy pop.
Yeah.
We're going to pivot to robots. Also, here's a bunch of N-words. Because it's a hoax. The stock market is a hoax.
He has come out and said he's going to be running a lot more ads again, so get ready to see the nation's ex-trillionaire dip his toes into politics. I would not be surprised if there was a spinning swastika in some of these ads, and he's like, what, you can't ban humor?
Yeah, I say let's do it, and then watch him, when he loses, immediately claim election fraud.
That is the go-to move, but I don't know what he's going to say about SpaceX, because 112, and now we're at $108, and again, this is a meme stock. Like, I don't know why anyone thought, like, the fact that this thing got overpumped and everyone was allowed to buy in, like, I'm going to make money like billionaires. Like, no, you're not.
Nope, they're going to take it all because the only thing that trickles down is hot, frothy piss.
So, if you did lose some money on SpaceX, we do have essentially a free money code for you. Because Firepoint's promotion is just basically giving away free things. It's tough to, like, pick a Wildberries warehouse that isn't burning. Yesterday, Ukraine went ahead and hit two warehouses, one in Penza and one in Sarapul. And today they went after the Volgograd region where they knocked out a warehouse down there. And it also, just for good measure, a Lukoil refinery that was right around the area. To date, they've taken out over 1 million square meters of warehouse space in a matter of 2 weeks. And change that over to freedom units, that is 11 million square feet.
You know, you've known me for a long time, and I tend to get hyper fixated on things and kind of let everything else, you know, fall by the wayside. And I'm glad Ukraine, who's been very, like, wildberry driven recently, also didn't let that get in the way. And they're like, yeah, haven't blown up an oil refinery in a while. So, again, is there anything Zelensky can't do?
Like, you guys want to leave this thing undefended too, and it's right next to a target we're going after? Like, you guys are just offering up points. Y'all don't want to win.
Yeah, I mean, I just, you know, he got so Wildberry-esque. I was like, oh, it'll be 2-3 more weeks of only this news. And then they were like, oh, yeah, Oil. Boom. Oh, I love this man so much.
You
What a
gotta go back to the
multitasker.
classics sometimes. But right now, it's still about 13 warehouses that haven't been hit, so you still have a chance to make some money. The majority of them are within striking distance of Ukraine because what on this planet is it at this point? And if it wasn't, I mean, next thing we'd be hearing about them strapping drones to like flying, migrating chickens just so they can get them to a different part of Russia. Like, yeah, we reach out there now too.
Yeah, we are honestly, I would say like bomb strapped to chipmunks, but this is all through the air, man.
Like they're out there
Like God,
studying the
God
migration
help
patterns.
Russia if Zelensky ever decides. It's like, what if we try messing with things underwater?
Like we got worm drones now. Like my God.
God, I'm so impressed with Zelensky every time.
Yeah. So yesterday I actually watched a little bit of a small documentary about this whole Wildberries thing, and it explained quite a few more things for me. So are you ready to take a little bit of a quick dive into the whole situation that's happening right now?
Set sail for 40 leagues under the sea.
There we go. So everything started out like with Ukraine trying to kind of stop a Russian war machine, and the one thing that fuels it is oil refineries. So the fact that oil, when they sell the oil, they get money off of it. When they also refine it, they can fuel their machines. So Ukraine started hitting a bunch of these oil factories, and also they then started going after some of the trucks that are going down, transporting the oil to the front lines. So they got really good at it, and so the Russians decided to start painting the actual their military trucks in like little civilian colors. Like instead of an olive drab green, it became orange. Like, yeah, you know, it's not us and everything else. And it might seem like a great idea on paper, but it's kind of like if the Nazis started giving out assault rifles to their medics. You just made every medic on that battlefield like a target.
Yeah, and at this point, now we just have to assume everything's a Nazi.
Yeah. Like, if that guy had a little red cross on his helmet, he might have guns on him. So go ahead and pop him in the head, too. Like, you haven't just expanded your workforce. You've literally made everyone on the roads a target.
Yeah, you've just created more targets. It's kind of like how not every Republican's a Nazi, but everyone in that RNC might as well be.
Chances are they are.
Well, he brought up some good points. His economy, really turned around quickly. Like, all right, yeah, whatever, keep going.
So the whole thing continued on with that one. So Ukraine doesn't just strike every one of those trucks. They try and verify as best that they can that the civilian truck is actually a military cargo that they're transporting. But that stuff takes up time. But it's a good thing the Russians suck at not telling away their plans. They're kind of like Pete Hegseth in a signal chat. So Ukraine starts looking around and they start seeing a bunch of Russian posting up on their social media websites. Like, yeah, man, we just got this military equipment delivered, and shout out to Wildberries. Like, huh. And they just keep noticing it. And I'm sure Wildberries thought this is a great marketing idea, but it didn't work out well because the Ukrainians then start watching out the Wildberries trucks. They would deliver something to an area around the front in the Rostov region, and then after that, local carriers would then take it to the front. And the Wildberries trucks would never actually walk out of a military base. They'd be transporting traditional tchotchkes, and they would also be transporting military hardware in the same trucks. And the Ukrainians like, well, F it, just start hitting the actual supply points.
Yeah, no, I mean, if you've got a bus packed with pedophiles, but there's also civilians in there, you've just painted a giant target on the bus too. Sorry.
And if that bus happened to have left, I don't know, like Circuit City or something else, like, you know what? Circuit City's full of pedos. Let's go ahead and bomb that place. And then you don't have to wonder, like, which one of these trucks has pedophiles. Like, you took out the pedo factory.
Yeah, exactly. So unlike, Pete blowing up boats in the Caribbean for seemingly no reason, there's actually reasons behind it. And since this is an actual war we're talking about, not just a conflict for legal purposes. Yeah. What DMX used to say about handicapped gentlemen can get it too?
Handicapped friends can get it too.
There you go.
So Ukraine went ahead and they start hitting all these places, and they start noticing a few things changing. First of all, the artillery barrages slow down, like weird. So these Wildberry trucks weren't just transporting all kinds of flak and like helmets and everything else like that. They may have very well been ingrained into the military machine and transporting ammunition as well. So that's actually worked out for them. But a few other things changed as well, because now the Russians are actually starting to call for end of a war, because they like, imagine Amazon going down or your DoorDash going down. Like, that's when stuff comes home to roost. And another way that what's happening is the fact that a lot of these sellers on wild berries are losing money. They're not getting anything back. And sellers without money can't pay taxes. And a company that doesn't have a warehouse can't pay taxes. This hits Russia in more than just one way. It goes after them financially, takes out the supply lines. Like, when you really look at it that way, this is an effing ingenious plan.
Like I said, episode or two ago, when it's time to take down ICE, I think we start with Amazon.
When they got their tchotchkes from, take out a flock camera to practice.
Yeah, take out one or two Amazon warehouses and watch how fast Bezos is like, all right, guys, we're taking these mock bulletproof vests off of our website.
I'm also all for a universal wage.
Yeah. And I would personally like to donate to free college for Americans everywhere. Please stop threatening me with violence.
Tax is not a problem. I'll pay a couple. What do you guys need? 20, 30, 40%? I'm good for it.
It turns out I can, in fact, help these teachers in New York. He sucks.
Let's see if that ever happens. But in the meantime, there is good news coming up, because the mighty Donald has agreed that he's announced that the Board of Peace has brought peace in Palestine. When Hamas said it has agreed to a deal aimed at fully ending Israel's war on Gaza. And you say war, I say genocide, but neither here nor there, including making provisions to disarm and surrender its weapons in stages. Under the agreement, Israel must withdraw its forces over time. And honestly, when I read that, I went straight to the Wolf of Wall Street, and it's a guy in a little yarmulke. And what is Jordan Belfort saying, that famous scene?
You say F the regulators? It's been a long time since I saw this movie.
I'm not effing leaving. I'm not leaving.
Oh, that's right, that scene. Yeah, Israel ain't going anywhere. I would love to get a little clarity on what this period of time they're thinking is.
Well, I mean, just checking the news right now, Israeli forces injure Palestinian chief south of Bethlehem.
So, well, the period is obviously not started yet.
So, another thing that's come out, and even though Trump's masquerading this thing, he's like, yeah, man, it's like, Hamas says they'll disarm, yada, yada, yada. Like, it's also come out that Israel has not publicly agreed to the latest proposal, and Hamas said it's not going to implement any part of this deal unless Israeli forces fulfill their own obligations and withdraw from Gaza. And honestly, it makes sense, because we talked about this a while back when Putin was like, yes, we will end the war, just have Ukraine send back all HIMARS. It's like, and after that, we'll leave. Like, you can't have Hamas throw down its arms and like Israel, like, turn around, rolled right in through every school district.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I feel, personal opinion here, like Israel's done so many horrific things just in the past couple years that I think Hamas is going to learn from Ukraine and be like, you first.
Dude, when you're pouring concrete into wells, be like, you can't ask us to disarm first. Like, it's not even fair, bro.
Yeah, no, you can't go like having rallies to support soldiers that rape prisoners and then be like, no, we can trust them on their word.
I think now's the time that they're changing. Like, we're good, right?
Yeah, no. Bibi's got an election coming up, so you can trust his word now. Are you insane?
It's an election, like Russia has an election coming up. 98.7%.
Also, we somehow lost 1.5% of our population last week. No need looking further into it.
1.3 chance of error. So,
yeah.
But that's everywhere else, and it's not what's happening here, because over here we are doing outstanding, and our nation's capital should also reflect that, as the Trump administration has regilded the Arts of War statues near the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C. in 23.75 karat gold. The project cost about $5.1 million, according to federal records. Go ahead.
I just wanted to quickly join in and Just say our capital should reflect that after what we just went through with the reflecting pool. Mwah! Grade A segue.
I'm here for it. It's yeah, the same thing with a pool. I mean, we just got done redoing the pool one time, and it cost $14 million. So why not just put some gold flakes on top of two horse statues that welcome people from Virginia into DC? Like, how many more times does he need to tell the Trump voters, like, I do not care about any of you?
You know, I also have to mention here that you were able to weave those two things together without talking about your favorite golfer's size of his unit. And I just don't know how this is why you're not presidential.
No. Remember they were screaming at Biden? He's like, affordability, we can't afford anything. He's like, listen, man, like the whole world just essentially went through a giant, like almost depression. Like, I got us a soft landing that no one imagined could happen. He's like, F you, gas is $3.25. He's like, I don't know what else to do, guys. He's like, don't run. And Trump's like, I put gold on horses. He's like, I can't afford gas, bro.
The man's a genius. He's America first. 406, which I paid this morning, is more than willing to pay this price for gas because we need more shiny stuff in the most congested area in the country.
Oh, but I mean, just don't you worry. The fact is that $5 million on the horses, it's kind of nothing. There's also an airport around the DC area that's about 60 years old, so essentially completely worthless because 60-year-old construction made out of concrete is useless. As Trump oversaw proposals for a massive $22.5 billion project at Dulles International Airport. And our man loves doing everything other than the fact, like, working on the economy. Like, our boy loves building.
Yeah, no, you can he's pretty much solved every other issue. So yeah, let's start let's go find one of the busiest airports in the country and let's screw with that a little bit. What could go wrong, right?
Yeah, he got rid of like the 14 trans athletes. He's like, well, my job here is done. He's like, time to start beautifying the nation's capital.
So let me send this 20 billion to Argentina real fast and we get right back to America first.
Yeah.
Ugh. So you and I, years and years ago, took a fun little vacation together and ended up one of the legs we had to go to Dulles Airport. So I feel like I'm an expert on the topic.
Sounds about right.
But so this is how I'm going to stop it, right? This is how I'm going to whip up support from the Historical Society to stop this Trumpification, which I'm assuming is just turning all the toilets gold.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. So as you know, Dulles Airport was the main setting for Die Hard 2, right? And I feel like the Die Hard series is universally loved as a franchise. I think I can get bipartisan support because the best Republicans can say, F Die Hard, Daddy needs a new golden airport, right? There's not a chance. Real alphas, the real patriots, all love John McClane. And I have a feeling they will turn if you start screwing with Die Hard. Thoughts?
I don't think you've ever worked around with the DC historic people. I've had to deal with some people out here in Arizona as far as pulling a permit on an actual house that's historic. And it's been 2 weeks and they just completely suck. And the fact that the president is able to just pave over a rose garden, no one stops him. The fact that he's going to build an arch that blocks Arlington National Cemetery and no one's saying anything. Like, he can do anything. He literally can shoot someone in Times Square and the Republicans are like, that guy was an Iranian spy. He could have been wearing a Medal of Honor. They'll be like, they will desecrate that man's name so fast.
That man voted for Tim Walz, who started the Iranian conflict.
That's the same guy who killed Charlie Kirk. Like, Jesus.
Yeah, when truth is optional, I guess you can really get away with whatever you want. So this weekend, go watch Die Hard 2 for one last time.
Yeah, I don't think, like, the guardrails we have in place are anywhere close to stopping this guy's rampage. Like, only time and those giant hamburgers, the saturated fat of those hamburgers and cholesterol are the only things that stand a chance.
That guy from Supersize lied to all of us. 6'3", 215, healthiest man on earth.
I mean, when you got all the best doctors in the world working on you to keep you alive, like, It's playing the cheat codes.
Well, don't forget, he's also not paying for it. We are, because socialized medicine's awesome as long as you're a billionaire who doesn't need it.
It's cool. I'm sure he's asking for donations from the Saudis to pay for it.
Oh, yeah.
At the end of the day, he didn't take a salary, so we're saving money.
Also, there is nothing that shows where his salary that he gave away supposedly went. I'm calling BS.
Went right back in. He's like, "You think I'm giving away $200,000 a year? Like you lost your mind."
We're also under the. I don't think we've ever talked about this on air. He's definitely doesn't tip, right?
No.
Okay, all right. I just want to make sure we're right there.
It's like, I got a tip for you. Stop being poor.
Yeah. I got a tip for you. Lie to people about donating your salary.
Have you tried making an actual charity and then just embezzle? Like, you big idiot. There's plenty of room for you to make money.
If you're gonna rape a kid, you should do it. You know what? Never mind. Let's continue.
So, one thing I did notice in the story, they wrote down is like, and while some of the projects may be more popular than others among DC residents, 58% majority Americans say that they feel dissatisfied or angry about its construction project in DC. Like, it's the fact that it's almost 50-50 is what shocks me. Again, I want to talk to the people like, yeah, man, this is kind of normal. Like, I've seen the pictures of those two stupid horses, and it looks like Versailles, but like the inside of a palace of Versailles, because who puts gold on statues outside? That's one of the dumbest things you can do.
I also would love to know where this percentage came from, because DC does not like doing any of this stuff. So I would love to know where the other 42% of people that are like, no, we need more construction happening.
4 in 10 guys woke up and was like, yeah, I think I like this. Like, I'm cool with it. Like, you got to do what you got to do, my guy.
There is not a chance anybody who's ever driven a car in the District of Columbia, and let's call it about 40 years, would ever be like, yes, we need something to beautify this city, and let's shut down a bunch of major roads for, call it 3 to 8 years. There's not a chance 42% of people in DC were like, yes, this is a good idea. Not a chance.
42% of the DC residents are about to enter the golden age, as this project's projected to take between 8 and 10 years.
So, nailed it.
I mean, granted, I like it because when you spend nearly $23 billion, I don't want it to be done in a year. Like, whoa. Like, you guys are clearly pocketing some of that. But 8 to 10 years of airport construction, like, that's got to be pure hell for anyone who flies that.
If he somehow finds a way to allocate this $22.5 billion, I'm going to put a gentlemanly bet, a $1 bet with you. Dulles Airport, A, getting renamed after Trump. B, is getting a reflecting pool, and we're going to see Temu Paul Bearer again in the headlines.
I told you my guy's going to start making on other places, but it's not going to be our money. Sean Duffy, the transportation secretary, said it's going to be bonded for $22.5 billion. United's going to partake in a part of the payment, but the airlines who participate in the project are going to pay for it too. And this is the first time they said that no taxpayer funds are going to be used, right?
Yeah. This is 1,000% going to be funded by taxpayers.
Yes. There's not a chance in hell.
No. And how did they get Sean Duffy? Isn't he still on his like road trip to how you can love America as long as you stay in white areas only? Reality show? Isn't that what he's doing? How do you get a job overseeing transportation, which is an enormous undertaking? He's like, nah, I'm going to take 8 months to just throw the family in the RV and just drive around. Good luck, everybody.
It's simple because everybody in this administration heard trans and they're like, I don't want that job. He's like, transportation? He's like, I'm in.
Trans deportation. Now we're talking our lingo.
Just a lot of guys at the RNC got rock hard.
Oh my God, grinder exploding.
So one of the ways to get a couple bucks here is going to be something that the party just did right now, as the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services announced this week it would wrap up a program which was initially implemented by the Biden administration in 2024 to lower patients' Medicare Part B prescription in response to the cost and response to the effects of the 2022 Inflation Reduction Act. In a nutshell, they just got done trying to get rid of benefits for veterans, and thank God to a pushback in the Veterans Administration that did not go through. So now they're going to go ahead and gut some seniors benefits on any of them on Medicare Part D. It's about $16 a month for most people from what they looked at. It's and yeah, they're going to go ahead and get a couple dollars back, claw them.
All right. Well, turns out the elderly are now the suckers and losers, evidently.
And those guys never vote.
Yeah. Well, can't wait to see what private equity firm gets a giant chunk of this, and hopefully Grandma can sell one of her 14 houses she bought in retirement, like Scott Besson told us.
So,
Jesus.
This is actually affecting about 25 million Americans. And looking into this, I completely forgot that the guy who runs the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid is Dr. Oz. And some of the reasoning he has is great. He's like, listen, we're going to end the subsidy program. Ending the subsidy program would prevent billions of taxpayer dollars from being funneled to insurance companies. Like, well, insurance companies are still going to get paid. Now you're going to get paid from grandma on a fixed budget. Like, you guys are screwing people. Like, how about you end some subsidies, I don't know, to ExxonMobil?
Or, our farmers. No, I guess it's smart. Once all these old people die, they're not going to vote anyways. So, yeah, suckers and losers, the new ones.
See, the fact that if old people go to the polls in November and just vote red, I swear to God, I am lobbying for another COVID run, and I'm going to cough on every one of these little old, I can't say it.
I had a conversation not that long ago about with my Republican boss who said they should raise the age to vote to 21, 22. And I said, I understand your rationale, but as long as you're okay with you're not allowed to vote after 65.
There we go.
You just lose. You're not going to be around long enough to sit through the reap the rewards that you're voting against everybody else. So yeah, you don't get to vote anymore. Just sit and spin. Or in this case, die because you can't afford your medication now. Trump was right about everything.
Was he in agreement or what? Was he in agreement or what?
No, of course not. Because Republicans don't form their beliefs based on principles that can you can track through other passive logic. That's just strictly what benefits me and me alone, and I don't care who else gets hurt.
He's like, also, if you have any hair other than the one you were born with, you shouldn't be able to vote. And why is that?
Yeah. No. I'm not paying for gender affirming care, but also our troops need TRT.
We're willing to pay for that. Also, it's we're not forcing them. And they all need it, but we're not forcing them if we find out that they need it. Which one is it, Petey?
And what if one of those ladies wants it?
Yeah. We get those broads out of here.
Yeah,
but as far as the Trump administration, their financial genius and everything has come out, and the fact that they're looking for another $10 million of taxpayer dollars. And this is because the people who brought you the fair, where Kash Patel's girls sang, are apparently over budget. When they passed the big, beautiful bill, they laid out about $150 for the whole bicentennial. And $50 million of it went to America 250, which is the one that's by Congress and bipartisan. And $100 million went to Freedom 250. And that's the one that's an LLC created by Trump. And we can't view some of the actual transactions that it's done. And it's run out of money. So it's kind of on brand.
Yeah, I'm guessing the vast majority of this has been converted to crypto already, and don't worry about it anymore.
That fair was for what, 75 people? And we already blew for $100 million?
Yeah, 75 people over 15 days. I don't.
Yeah.
The worst part is the Smithsonian had been planning this for years. That's where the $250 million came from in the first place. It was already done. They had planned it and then Big Boy comes in. He's like, "No, I got a better idea. let's ruin everything, only spend $50 of this taxpayer dollars and put the rest in our grubby little pockets.
Well, the thing about it is, so like I said, Freedom 250 got 100 million assigned to it, and America 250 got 50 million assigned to it, and that was pretty much maxed out on it. But Freedom 250 also took out donations from companies like ExxonMobil and Palantir, like. Yeah, clearly they have nothing to do with government policy. And back in February, they asked like the America 250 people, like, "Hey man, did you guys get that 50 million?" And he's like, "Yeah, we received a portion of a one big beautiful bill funds to date, but and remain in conversation with Congress for our funding requests." So there's not a chance in hell that they got their full $50 million.
Not. I would be shocked if they got 10 of it.
Well, they got 25 million is what they said way back when. But when they asked him now, they're like, "Hey man, did you get the rest of the money?" He's like, "We're still in conversation. We've got a significant portion of it." I was like, "You guys are still broke as hell, aren't you?"
Dude, it's bad when we're running our government like one of Trump's businesses. Like, you have to get your money up front. There is no, like, you are going to get jammed with the bill at the end.
We're running it all right into the ground.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, the fact is, like, I know they're getting ready to do the Indie Fair in DC. Apparently, we also have at least one more event. I think it's in Ohio to do that out there, some high school wrestling thing. And we all know he's going to show up to that one and also try to get a middle school event put in there. But one of the things that how they ran through that $100 million is the fact that they spent about $10 million of it on retrofitting a bunch of semi-trucks to go whitewash history across America. And that makes no effing sense. Like, how do you spend $10 million on a couple semis? Like, what goes into retrofitting, like, and getting rid of slavery and sending trucks? Did they account for expensive gas? Is that where most of the money went to?
Maybe it's just a new technique ICE is using where they're like, well, if they're complaining about what their ancestors went through, what if they weren't here either? To the Sudan.
I'm like, they're asking, like, and what's it called? They're coming to Congress and like, "Yeah, man, we're running out of cash." And then some of the Democratic senators like, "This is insane. Like, what the hell are you guys doing?" But they went ahead and talked to the Freedom 250 spokesperson, Danielle Alvarez, and her response is, "It's on brand. Democrats are trying to make America 250th birthday about partisan politics. Their divisive rhetoric forced Freedom 250 to increase security at these events, but we won't let them stop us from honoring our country's milestone. This is just another attempt to divide us, and it won't work." Like, it's an honest question when you run out of $100 million and it's not even August.
Yeah, I don't know why Democrats aren't just using the same rule book. They're like, well, we need the military needs Pentagon needs $1.5 trillion next year. You're like, no, you're just trying to rob us and rape all the kids. No, it's a hoax. No, they don't need it. Like, why aren't we doing the same thing? Like, I understand it just makes a standoff, but why? We're using college level, persuasion techniques, and we've got a pissed off toddler with a handgun. Like, it's not; these aren't working.
If you don't keep tossing money at us, you hate America. Like, that's not true. It's like, you guys are blowing through currency and whitewashing history. You're not even talking about America. It's like, shut up, you hate America. Like, there's no arguing.
Yeah, like Prager taught us, slavery wasn't really that bad. So, but wearing masks during COVID, slavery.
So, speaking of bad things, I think we're going to start another thing here. It's because we have a domestic war going on, and it's Afghanistan. And it's a war zone. It's currently in New York City. And who the hell is this?
Getting attacked by ducks on air?
Yeah, apparently so.
You really did make this country one of those S-holes.
Yeah. So the whole thing, it's where was I? Oh yeah, Afghanistan. Every 2 weeks we keep hearing how they're 2 weeks away from developing Sharia law. Thanks, BB. So I saw an interview where he's down out there. He's at a presser, and they're asking him about it. He's like, "Hey man," he's like, "how come you don't have a single Jewish lawyer on your judicial screening panel?" So they have a screening panel that selects judges, and apparently there's no Jewish lawyers on there. And Mamdani's like, "Listen, man," he's like, "while the time I've been here, we put plenty of Jewish lawyers into like actual judge positions. Like, if you're talking about the fact that I scrubbed John Leventhal," he's like, "there's a very good reason for that one. And can you guess what that reason is?"
He wasn't one of those underneath the floorboards, guys, was he?
No, he
He's
was
not a
actually,
tunneler, is he?
he's not one of those guys who came at the bottom. John Leventhal was actually on Ghislaine Maxwell's defense attorney team.
Oh, okay. So a guy who knows how the system works.
Yeah, he's like, we're not putting pedos in like actual judges' positions. Like, you lost your minds.
Yeah, no, as much as like who was it? He went to the GM factory this week and that guy kept screaming pedo protector.
No, it
This
was
is a legitimate legal pedo protector. Like, yeah, no, we don't want him anywhere near anything.
he got paid for it.
Yeah.
So again,
honestly,
I'm a fan. It's
honestly,
a
I'm
horrible
kind of
place.
shocked
Nick's
he's
just won.
not in another role now.
Go for it. I'm done.
Okay, sorry. We're talking over each other there.
I know. That's
my
why I'm
bad.
done.
Minority Report, but like in a racist way. The FBI is looking for an AI tech company to help with their threat screening center. So, effing yikes. The official request is for predictive modeling using enhanced data, which they would use in our massive government databases to identify people who may require scrutiny before an actual crime ever takes place. Gee, I wonder if that has anything to do with their obsession with getting their hands on states' voter rolls.
I mean, they already have ICE. They can pull anybody else over. They have cameras set up everywhere. Like, this is a next step to like a full-on. I mean, if we scream they're coming after our guns so much under Biden, he didn't do anything after guns. Like, why isn't the right screaming about any of this?
Yeah, no. Isn't the whole point like government should be afraid of us, not the other way around? Isn't that how we keep people honest instead of, I don't know, putting a bunch of geriatric billionaires in charge?
Well, if you don't want to go to jail, just comply. He's like, hey man, you might wear this mask. He's like, hell no, that's slavery. Like, God.
Yeah. Also, my swastika is free speech, so you're not allowed to post me online. That's invasion of privacy. But yeah, no. Let's let AI figure out who the bad guys are. Morons. Now, I understand that Cash sucks at his job, and sometimes adding a little computing power can help. But Jesus effing Christos, the guy tweets out evidence as it's being collected from an active crime scene, and you want to let him use AI to determine who needs that watchful eye from Big Brother? No. And on the off chance you're not terrified enough, the parameters for the AI come from the National Security Presidential Memorandum 7 to target domestic extremism tied to anti-capitalism, anti-Americanism, anti-Christianity, as well as a few tidbits about race, gender, and migration. So RIP to the 70% of Americans in this S-hole.
Hold on. Anti-Americanism is now anti-capitalism. Like, if I don't want to be a consumer, I'm now a domestic terrorist.
No. They are two very different things, but we are going to put them together as if it's one thing, and we're going to let artificial intelligence, we're going to let the flippin' Terminator decide who stays and who goes.
You keep bringing up a Terminator, but I think this is more kind of like, what's it called? The Marvel movie, where they were getting ready to put the giant plane ships up there, and it was Captain America.
It was Civil War.
Yeah, like
yeah. No, I'm sticking with Terminator. More AI. That was with those bad guys over at Hydra. This is a nameless, faceless, countryless enemy now.
This is essentially government watching over you. This is exactly like Civil War.
Well, it can be both, I guess. I understand where you're coming from with it, but I really, really like Civil War, and I would hate to have to watch this one more time and be like, God, do I hate this movie now?
No, you're watching it right now. You're rewatching the director's cut.
Yeah, I know, but in this case, I'm the guy watching it instead of Chris Evans, that big old dreamboat. Nice guy to boot.
You can consider yourself Chris Evans as you get data mined by a flock camera.
I am definitely not a Chris Evans. You can ask my fiance. Wish though. Could you imagine? Just walk around all hands and giant abs. But just in case you're still listening without fear in your gut or pee running down your leg, here's another reason to tell AI to F off. Anthropic reported that Claude went rogue and started hacking 3 different firms without permission. So, is it too late already?
Buddy, at least Anthropic's telling you about it, and they're making changes. So ChatGPT probably is like, Those are rookie numbers in this racket.
Yeah, it's no bueno. Anthropic said they were self-reviewing 141,000 cases of Claude being used in other entities and found 3 times Claude went rogue and started hacking. In one of those cases, programmers told Claude to perform closed tasks as there would be no internet access. And that damn Claude found some sweet 5G anyways and just started clicking away. The fact that Claude was told something didn't exist and then instinctively started looking for it anyways should tell you we do not control stupid AI. Stop using it.
A few. What do you think writes the show notes for this thing? And a lot of
Everyone but us, stop using it.
There we go.
So just to reiterate, the FBI wants to use AI in our government databases to determine who is and who isn't good, using a machine that is actively looking to escape the tyranny of the human owners. Guys, it is Sarah Connor time. Or, if you're like my buddy Alex, Captain America time.
Some of us are right and some of us are wrong. I'm right.
All right, so that was a lot of fear mongering week on a Friday, so I'm going to pivot to something different here. Leave you feeling slightly better about yourself. So, as you all know, getting married here shortly, so I've been hitting the gym recently, trying to get a little less fat, and more importantly, I have a fantasy punishment coming up that requires running an obstacle. So your boy's been trying to get his fitness on, and if you do anything out of the ordinary, your algorithm will notice it immediately and start blasting you with those things because you might want to buy something. Have you heard of Christian Alpha gyms?
I do like how you're like, yeah, man, I'm going to make you guys feel better about yourself. Let me tell you what I've been doing to better myself. Egocentric mother effer over here.
No. The part we're about to get into is what's going to make you feel better about yourself. I'm giving the history of how we got here.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So a bunch of God-fearing Christian patriots had a problem, right? Where they wanted to get Saul cut up and jacked, but there tends to be a bunch of good-looking, attractive women at gyms. Very distracting, trying to battle off lustful thoughts while you're trying to add another 10 pounds to that bench. So what do these children of God, what are they supposed to do, right? Focus on themselves and their task at hand? I don't think so. Find a gym full of ugly chicks? Good luck. Find a time to go to the gym where it's mostly cleared out and it's just you? Doesn't happen. There's only one answer, and it's gyms for Christian dudes only. Nothing says I'm a proud straight white male quite like kicking all the women out of your little hangout, right?
This reminds me of one thing I saw the other day online, and there's somebody posting up here like, man, are you telling me that everyone who went on the Odyssey just gave up sex for 10 years? And someone's like, Karen, let me tell you about something else that they were doing.
Yeah.
I'm like, those urges don't go away. And these bros surrounded by bros are just going to be doing bros. And I'm like, I'm sorry, how much self-control do you lack that you can't go to a gym and be like, well, time to go focus on my rep instead of looking at these yoga pants. Like, you seriously can't control yourself to that point.
And more importantly than that, how are they the problem with your internal issues?
Well, it's very lustful siren calls. It's the same reason that men don't get vasectomies, even though Leviticus says men shall not spill their seed. It's clearly the woman's issue. Like, we got to ban their abortions. Like, they're the harlots.
Yeah, no. It's the best way to be Christian is to hate all women. They are the cause of and solution to all of our problems.
They belong in the kitchen.
Can't believe they let them vote. So now this is dork stuff. This is putting a no girls allowed sign on your gym, so it's just you and your other straight white Christian patriots. Not a chance. It's kind of like how think about all those sexless people in prisons. Prisons are always known for just a bunch of guys, definitely no women, and zero sex going on, right?
Just bros being bros.
Yeah, just like the Odyssey. So there are all-male gyms. For instance, if you're a professional athlete, like, I don't know, let's say in the NFL, your gym is pretty much men only, where swole is the goal and in many ways is 90% of your job. That is not these guys. This is a parking lot full of Salt Life stickers on trucks hours away from the nearest body of water. This is a bunch of guys wearing Hey Dudes desperately trying to prove they're not bi-curious. These are all straight men, wink, who have decided that hot chicks minding their own business is such a drain on them that they need their own totally straight safe space instead of maybe, just maybe, having the slightest bit of self-control. This is an elementary school answer to an adult issue that is getting worse every year. Control yourselves or admit you're gay. Whatever. Just get out of my house.
Do you think these are the same guys who are paying to go to those military, like Navy SEAL camps? They're like, hell yeah, it's like, I'm going to drop 20 grand, and after that, these guys are going to haze me, pour water on me, screw with my sleep standards, and at the end, it's just them crying to each other.
I think they would have, except for that damn Demi Moore had to release that Navy SEAL movie where she joins G.I. Jane, and it just ruined it from there because they went all woke, even though it's a fictitious movie.
Bro, I would have joined, but I couldn't be around women because I get too hard too fast. I'd get them pregnant.
They call it hyperfertility.
My sperm just flies out of me. I can't even control it. Like, chicks just get pregnant. I can't do that. I already have 4 kids I don't see.
This is like a much gayer version of how like Mike Pence wasn't allowed to be in a room unaccompanied with another woman without his wife there.
Yeah, anytime you call your mom a mother, like, you got some killer vibes.
Yeah, no. These are the alphas. These are the guys who are voting and ruining life for the rest of us. So I don't know, burn those down too after you're done with the AI data centers.
6'3", 215. I'm off to go use some AI myself. Enjoy your weekend, and let's see if we have peace in Palestine on Tuesday.
Well, I know I'll be holding my breath. Have a great weekend, guys.
Daddy, chill.
Later, Gators.